So we're back with another Matchday notes. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are doing good. And today is a disappointing one. Obviously dropping 2 points to a 10-man Chelsea who had gone down to 10 men in the first half. And I thought they were there for the taking as soon as that red card happened. But for some reason, we just never got a foothold of the game. We just never gained control of it. And it was always a very scruffy game, very scrappy game. And I think it was down to Chelsea making it that way through their physicality. And with Saliba missing from the game, forcing us to play a completely new partnership, it was always going to be a tough task asking a completely new partnership at Chelsea, to take control of the game physically, progressing the ball in that tight Stamford Bridge pitch. That pitch is quite small as well. And, the set pieces as well, which is a huge part of our game. We were missing quite a lot there. And given that was their first game at Stamford Bridge, not only as a partnership, but just their first experience individually, and also given the fact that they were both on yellow cards for the majority of the game, I think they managed the game well enough, and I think they made a good account of themselves. And I think from here on, their performances are going to improve. And I thought David Raya had a decent game. His distribution was good. Maybe some of the times he could have released the ball a bit quicker because there were opportunities for counter-attacks, and for some reason he was just slow to release the ball. I think, in that game in particular. And Uren Timber was just, as reliable as ever. He hardly ever puts a foot wrong. He won all his aerial duels and he was solid. And Calafiori, he looked a bit off pace for this one. I don't know why that is, because he did get rested against Bayern Munich. Yeah, just his reading of the game was always behind the general play. I wouldn't say he had an awful game, but he definitely did not have a good game. And definitely, one of his worst performances. But given the fact that Chelsea were ultra physical and the nature of the game, stop and start, it was hard to get fluidity. And Calafiori's game is based on fluidity, and from that perspective I would say this is a one-off. We haven't seen him put in many bad performances this season, so that would be a one-off for Calafiori. And Zubimendi, man, I think that was one of his worst performances. I think in these away fixtures where it's ultra physical and it's hard to get on the ball, much like it was against Man United and maybe to an extent at Liverpool, when these games get overly physical, I think that he struggles to dictate the game and get into the game. And maybe a DM like Norgard would be a better suit for this type of games. And yeah, man, I think that in moments when he was on the ball, you could see his quality, but Chelsea were not allowing us to have time on the ball at all. So Zubimendi, in these types of games, I would like to see Norgard more in these type of games. And Declan Rice, I think he was the best player for us on the pitch. He was ever present, and given the fact that he was on an early yellow card, I think he managed the game well, and he produced a lot of tackles in the game. And one in particular to deny Pedro Neto in the box. He produced a sliding tackle that denied Pedro Neto a clear chance at goal. And yeah, he was ever present for the majority of the game, and he and Reece James, I think, were the best midfielders on the pitch. And with the battle in midfield touted as Caicedo versus Rice, I think Caicedo's performance, it was disgraceful. He was just physical from the get-go. He was charged up and he was overly aggressive. He was just, everything that he did was over the top, And that tackle on Merino, I think he's lucky he wasn't seriously hurt there. And him rolling around on the ground pretending he was injured. Oh my God, man, embarrassing. Utterly embarrassing from Caicedo. And a lot of people are trying to give him a pass for that performance, saying, oh, he was playing good before he got a red card. He was shit. Part of being a world-class midfielder is managing the game and managing your emotions and reining in, being overly physical and not playing the occasion but playing the game. And Caicedo did none of that. And while we're on Mikel Merino, I thought in the first half he was awful, and in the second half he grew into the game. He was picking up the right positions, he was making the right challenges, helping us knit play together, getting on the ball and linking up play. More so the stuff that you would expect from a striker like Merino, a false nine. He was doing that part of the game better than he did in the first half. And that was fantastic movement as well for the goal. And Ebery Eze also struggled because, like I said, Chelsea didn't allow us time and space on the ball, and that physicality, I think it was difficult for Eze to deal with. And yeah, he also seemed like one of the players that were off pace. There definitely was a dip in performance from Eze, but he's never that type of player that's gonna get on the ball and have 100 touches. He relies on moments, but when the team was struggling physically, he was never going to get those moments, you know what I mean? So as much as he had a bad game, I don't think it's a concern. And Bukayo Saka had a good battle with Cucurella. He got the best of him to put in the cross for Merino, which Merino took well. By the way, instances from Saka where I thought, I need more quality from you, and I wasn't seeing it, I wasn't getting that. And some of the shots he was taking, some of the decisions he was making in the final third, it just seemed a bit careless, I thought marriage was supposed to improve a player, but what the hell do I know? And Martinelli, I thought he had a good game. Many people think that he had a bad game. I thought he had a good game. That shot that Sanchez saved, that could have been a goal for Martinelli, and we'd be sitting here thinking, oh, he's been clutch. I think that he did a lot of the good things that you expect from a winger to do in these type of games, in these type of tight games. He worked tirelessly, and in moments he was threatening with his pace in behind. And I think he also created a chance on the left, was it for Declan Rice? That led to like an opening. He made a run in behind and Declan Rice was on his left, if you remember that as well. So Martinelli had good moments in the game, and when you look at all the attackers in perspective, he was one of the better ones because both front threes were not scintillating. And I think Martinelli, he had a good game in the context of the game. And the substitutions from the manager, he brought on Noni Madueke and Odegaard for Zubimendi and Martinelli. And within a few minutes we had equalized, and I would say those were good substitutions from the manager. They did allow us to be a bit more threatening and gain more of a foothold in the game. We had a bit more control with Martin Odegaard on the pitch. However, we just could not find any rhythm within the game. It was always scrappy and yeah, no control. I think we had one of those days where we were just below par collectively and individually. And I think Victor Gyökeres came on and touched the ball twice in 20 minutes, and he did have a moment where he could have scored if Timber had left the ball. I'm not sure if he didn't give him a shout or there could have been a winner from him. And you could say that these three players, Odegaard, Madueke and Victor Gyökeres, coming back from injuries, they are still a bit rusty. So even though they are a boost to the squad, they still do have to get some minutes under their belt. And yeah, man, we just looked a bit jaded after, what has been a long, difficult week, starting with Tottenham, going to Bayern. Dominant displays. You could give them a pass. I mean, if you had asked me at the start of the run, would you take 2 wins and a draw at Chelsea? I would have taken that. And I think any of us would have taken that. And to be quite honest, I would have loved to see us turn Chelsea over, and humble them. But it was not meant to be, And the context of the last couple of games, it has to play a part in it as well. And don't forget as well that we also lost Leandro Trossard, who has been probably our most informed forward, if I'm being honest with you. Him and Merino, they've been probably our 2 most informed forwards. So as much as I am disappointed, there is a context where this team still has to get credit for, an amazing week. You know, this team has given us 2 brilliant performances in the last week, winning the derby, then beating Bayern, and we're not immune to an off day either. In the grand scheme of things, this is not an awful point. We didn't play well at all, but we could easily have been drawn into the kind of aggression that Chelsea were provoking from us. We could have retaliated, and we didn't do any of that. We composed ourselves and we just played the game. We didn't play the occasion. You know, we could have went down to 10 men as well, but we did not allow that to happen. And that could have been a very different game if Chelsea, you know, pulled us in that direction. It could have been a very different game. So yes, man, as disappointed as we are, there are quite a few positives to take from this game. And please hit the like button for me to help this video reach a larger audience. And it would be highly appreciated as well if you hit the subscribe button. And yeah, catch you on the next Matchday Notes. Hopefully the next one will be more positive than this one.